Charles Moman here from Seymour, Indiana, brand new Runaway owner. And I did a lot of research before buying this Runaway Navigator, and I took the advice of many of you on the Facebook page in helping me make my decision, especially with the options. And it was very helpful, but it was in kind of bits and pieces. And so what I'm going to try to create here and not make it too long is to make the video that I would like. So I know there are people that are going to see this that are thinking about a Runaway Navigator. Is it for you or is it not? And so I'm hoping this video will help you. Just to let you know, I had a Grand Marquis. I have a Grand Marquis. Never owned a truck in my life. So I bought this F-150 4x4, what, a few months ago maybe at the most. So it's kind of tall, and I like that it's up higher. And so towing was new to me as well. I've never towed anything until we picked up this Navigator recently. And so I'm going to start with hooking it up very quickly just to show you if you're in that same boat as me. And then I'm going to do a walkthrough of my Navigator and the options that I got. So I've rolled it up here, and the way we have found, we used to wind this up and so it's almost the same height. We don't do that anymore because one time we put it on and it wasn't rock solid. We didn't go driving, we just thought that doesn't look right. So what I like to do is lift it up and just set it down on it and let its weight pull it down so the ball is completely covered. So I've got this up. This is closed, so I've got it, push the lever and open it up, and I'll just lift it up and put it on. So I check, and the ball is completely covered. So I lock it down, and you need something in this hole right here, and hitch lock. And so this is what I'm using. You could use a padlock. There's a lot of ways to go, but this is a simple thing that I think I bought at Camping Grill, but I'm sure they sell it lots of places. I'm sure Walmart has it. So I just slide this on, turn the lock, put the cap on, and that's going to make it very, very secure on there. So now I'm going to pull this, lock the wheel in, take my electric cord and plug it in. There's only one way to do it. That's in there good. And then my chain, some people do the crossing thing. We found on this F-150 that the hooks here didn't allow this to go down and back. So we bought these hooks here at Tractor Supply, and they work great. So we're solid.
You crisscross them.
Yeah, you can crisscross them. And I got the pin lock on there. This is up. I want to make sure that I have the stabilizers up as well, because people have driven off with the back stabilizers and they tear them off. So they're up, and so I'm ready to go. I would check tail lights, make sure that everything is working, and then I know I'm good to go. But I'd really double check that this baby is locked on tight, and it is, and then I'm ready to go. Okay, we're exactly the same spot. We're going to pretend that this is the campsite. Okay, so just work with me on that. Use your glorified imagination. Slide this off. Pin lock is out. I push the lever and open that up. And so I'm going to pull this and drop the wheel. And now I am going to, oops, wrong way, lower this.
And watch your fingers.
Watch my fingers. But you can whack them against the frame on the Navigator. And it's down there. Raise it up some here. So let's say this is the spot. It's still connected here, sitting on, it's barely on top of the ball, touching. And so I'm going to go ahead and unplug the electric, undo the chain. And probably before I do this, I might have put the wheel chocks on, but once you undo it from your vehicle, you're probably going to move it around anyway. So we would do that last, unless it's really going to go flying somewhere. So even though, let's say this is where I'm going to have it for camping, even though I'm off the truck, I'm going to put this back on and lock it, because that's at least a deterrent. So they can't easily, this mechanism is down and still it's locked. So they can't, if you just left it unlocked, they could come up with a truck, they're gone. Probably wouldn't even bother to mess with the chains. They're going to get out of there fast. So I would lock it some way that way. Some people put the wheel locks on it. We haven't gone that far yet. But make sure you do lock it at all times. This should be in there, either on your vehicle or when you're at a campsite. And then we just recently bought these. I ordered them off Walmart. They're Camco, the same as the wheel chocks. And these are leveling blocks. They're like adult big Legos. And you can set them up how you want to do some fine-tuned leveling of your camper. So it's a thing of 10, and I forget what it costs, 20 bucks or something. Stabilizer arms. Pull them, do the lever, and you release them down to where you need them. It's not a lever here, you just pull, drop them, and then here's the lever, and you drop it down. Make sure you don't drive off with these down. And we use, one time we put wood, we used wood blocks to level it, so just have to see what your situation is. So I decided I didn't want to have to get the truck jack out if I needed to change the tire on the Runaway. So I was going to get a bottle jack, and then I found this at Tractor Supply, and I think it's going to work so much more easily. And it's a roller jack. Wasn't expensive. It's in a nice case. I throw it in the back of the truck. So if we have to change, I think this will be a lot easier and safer. One other quick thing, I saw online someone talking about some noise that you can get back here, and we really didn't hear anything when we drove from Ocala back to Indiana because we had the windows up and air conditioning on. But when your hitch, this is a Reese hitch, when it goes into the sleeve, it can't be absolutely perfectly tight, so it's actually kind of loose. So I read someone sprayed something in there, but I wouldn't want to do that. But another option, I haven't seen one yet, I haven't looked, is it's like a clamp that holds this so it's not making that noise. So you can imagine if you stop fast or hit big bumps, the noise you might hear might be this. So I'm looking into getting a clamp thing to hold that tight. Alright, so I looked at all the models and I decided we wanted to go smaller. RangeRunner is nice, but we thought we'd go with the Navigator. Plus I want to do some options. So this is kind of a tricked out Navigator because the basic price is, as you know, $34.95. And mine ended up being $47.25 because I added some things. So what did I add? So I added a second door and just a little, I got this at I think Home Depot or something, some little rubber stops here, and they're just sticky and they stick on in a pack of 10 or 12 for a couple bucks. And so I'm putting one there just so it won't bump. And I'll probably figure something to, if the wind's blowing, to hold it down as well. So I added a second door so we're not climbing over each other in the middle of the night. As you know, it comes with 2 windows, but we decided to go ahead and add the back window. The back door didn't really appeal to me. I know some people find that very useful, and of course this is all very subjective, what works for you. But we have found, I just can't imagine having one without all this light and air going through. We're not in super hot weather all the time, so most of the time we can have these 3 windows open, and we're going to get a great breeze. And these windows are tinted, in case you really didn't know that. And actually, I mean, you can see in there, but it does give you some privacy. It of course came with the hitch, which has a limit of 150 pounds. We have a bike rack that comes like this, and the bikes hang. But I want to get a rack that's the shelf, I guess you call it, narrow, and so we can put 2 bikes there. And to me, that would feel more solid to me. So we added a door, we added the back window. I went ahead and added the racks. I don't know that we'll ever buy, well, our son has a canoe we could borrow, but I don't think we'll usually be putting a bunch of stuff up there. I chose to get the 15-inch tires. I had read that people that have bigger vehicles like mine, it looks better, maybe the ride is better. I don't know, because I've never driven one with 13 inches, but most people have the 13 and they do thousands of miles and do just fine. But I got the 15, and I think that's going to work well for our purposes. I'm 5'10", so I know you can see the numbers on a piece of paper, the height of everything, but I'm 5'10", and so you can see my comparative height here, okay? Is Runaway for everyone? No. If you're super claustrophobic, I suppose not. The teardrops seem even more claustrophobic to me, the way they slope down. This actually has more air space, is what I call it. And if you have mobility issues. And so what about getting in and out? So we're going to go to the other side right now. Okay, so remember I'm 5'10", so I'm sitting here and there. But I talked about mobility issues, you know, so is that going to be a problem getting in? Well, one of the ways of getting in is just come and sit down, and you're in. I like to put a rug over the edge. You're not sitting on the metal. And my wife is for sure making me say have a rug down there on the ground, and to help keep not getting all the dirt in here. We really like the vinyl floors because that's so easy to clean. So you could just sit and turn. That's all you have to do. If you can bend well and all that, so you could just step up into it like this, and I'm in. Okay. Or I know this seems silly showing different ways, but I know some people wonder about this. Or if you put this here, just get it on your knees and do the same thing. Okay. So if you've got major mobility issues, then maybe this won't work for you, but it's no problem getting in and out. Okay, the other option I added was I got the cubbies, and you'll see those in a second. I'm not very handy. My wife is the mechanic, carpenter, plumber in our house, but not me. And so for 150 bucks, they're done. But I've seen some really neat custom jobs that many of you have done, and I think those are awesome because you know exactly what you want and what kind of things you want to fit in and out. But for us, the cubbies, 150 bucks is a no-brainer for me. I didn't opt to put the shelf in the back or the corner shelves, though we could conceivably add that. And then I also added the a power strip that's in this back corner. I thought that would be a good idea. So I think that's all the options. Tires, rack, second door, third window, cubbies, and I think
mattress.
Oh yeah, and then the sofa. We bought the sofa they've got, and we found that it was kind of unwieldy unfolding it and hitting the ceiling. So my wife used a seam ripper and found, she thought it was going to be a big job. She just ripped them because they're both completely sewn separate, and she ripped it and they were done. The pillow was one piece and the sofa was the other. And so we have it. We can just take the pillow, the head part out, and when you want to flip it and open it up. So really, for us, it makes it really easy. Some wouldn't want to do that, but that's how we did it. Okay, so here's 5'10" Charles sitting in here. Like I said, on the teardrops, you know, they really slope down, and so you're limited where you can sit. You can sit anywhere in here because you got the same height. Here's our second power strip back here, and it is maybe in the way just a little bit there. I guess I could have had them put them up higher, but it's okay. And then they could have put corner shelves here as well. My wife already showed you in a previous video. She's got her wood strips here with the Velcro for the 3 curtains. Some people use mini blinds. Some people like to have real curtain rods, and any of those things work. Just make sure you don't go more than ½ an inch into the birch plywood, which I really like. It's very pretty and easy to clean. So here I am. I'm sitting. I'm comfortable. I'm reading. I could have a fan going or the air conditioning. And so, oh, I want to take a nap now. So this is sitting on top. So this is all the way back. This is what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull this out. This will drop down behind it, and we'll get this all folded out. So I'm going to pull it out, lay that sideways. I'll have to get out of the way here. And boom, hello, there's the bed. So 5'10"-ish Charles gets in. I get my pillow. I lay down, or I guess you could use this. You know, I think we had it just like this, laid it down, and here I am. If I lay straight, I'm 5'10", my head's up here. I'm still not actually touching the wall. I've still got space. I usually kind of go like that, so it's plenty of room for me, and my wife is much shorter. So that gives you an idea. If it was a couple that's, let's say, bigger than Susie and me, then that's where I could see the RangeRunner being helpful, or you want more space, because I know you can turn a mattress sideways on those. But for us, this is going to work fine. By the way, my wife here, she put the tension rod up here and a little light. And then I bought, just the other day, I saw somebody talking about the Runaway Camper, these Lucci lights, L-U-C-C-I. They're by M-Powered. And Walmart sells them too online. And I think they even have them in the stores. It's inflatable, it's like a beach ball. Got a little handle, and it's got a solar panel. If it's totally dead, it takes 7 hours in full sun. And then it lights up real well, which won't be that great right now. There's the bright setting, and flashing, and off. And I understand they can last up to 12 hours, so you could hang them from here or use them to read or whatever. So that's a little addition that I found that I think might be useful. a quick addendum. My wife said I had it this way, but she said it looked terribly uncomfortable, so I'm going to flip it this way. You know, that still may be up too high for
or
people.
You can also flip it. Flip it again.
Flip it again. That
It's
way.
A little.
That might be a little better.
Yeah.
And again, or you could just take it out all together and just slide the whole thing up, which would make it a little bit shorter. But there you go.
You can use it as a pillow if you need to.
Yeah, right. Okay, so we could go on and on about accessories, but a dog bone is important. Dog bone allows you to plug in from your camper, an extension cord, make sure it's heavy duty, plugs into this, and then this plugs into 30 amp service, which is pretty typical at most campgrounds. They also have 50. I doubt you would be at it'd be unusual to have a place with just 50, but I actually have a 30 to 50 converter as well. In case you're wondering, we don't have our own personal carillon in our yard. We have down the street is the cemetery, so you're hearing that going quite a bit during our videos, but it doesn't run all the time. All right, I'm about done. It's gone on for a while, but I really wanted to do a video that would help someone who's a complete novice like I was. A couple quick things. So you want to make sure you have a proper wrench, lug wrench for the wheels on your camper. So I found this at Tractor Supply, and this thing folds down. It's got all the different sizes. Actually, it takes care of the wheels on the Runaway and on my truck. So this folds down to nothing, so that's nice. Make sure you get a wrench so you can take off the spare that's underneath, and I'm actually going to buy a second spare to keep in the back of the truck just to be totally safe in case we're way out west and there's nothing around forever and we run over a bunch of stuff and it ruins both tires. Don't really need them, but they're so darn cute. If we ever do have a need to change a tire or something, we're on the highway, a little safety, and these are cheap. We got them at Home Depot. My wife uses a little step stool. I'm trying to think of anything else real quick. And then I went ahead and made a kind of a big purchase just because we're going to be out in places sometimes where there are no amenities, and we hope we don't have to use it a lot. But I went ahead and bought the Honda 2000 EU 2000i, and it was like $1,000. But everyone that has these I've seen on YouTube, they all say, well, it's not a Honda, but I bought this at Harbor Freight, or I bought this and it's not quite so good. But it's pretty quiet, so let me just turn it on so you can tell. So I've got it on. It runs at night. It ran over 10 hours on one tank, which is about a gallon of gas. So it's got a choke, which I probably won't need. A while ago I filled it up, one pull it started. So I don't think I did this 10 times to get it going. That is how quiet it is. So I got a microphone on my Nikon D750, so you can carry on a conversation just fine with that going. So what does it sound like if it's under load? Like, say the air conditioner kicks in. So let me turn it. It's on eco mode right now. And eco mode means it dials down as much as it can to do what it needs. But then if your air conditioner comes on, so if the air conditioner comes on, you would hear this. That's as loud as it gets, and it won't stay there. While the compressor's going, it's pulling a lot of juice. It'll be that, and then as soon as it's not pulling, needing all that power, boom, there you go. I like to get my little coffee maker, same thing. Otherwise, it's this quiet. I chain it. I have a heavy chain that I chain to the truck. If I'm not here with it, if I'm not with the camper, this is going to be in the truck. I will never leave it out if I'm not here, because those get stolen very, very quickly. We're hoping that most of the time we won't need it. I prefer to have fresh air than air conditioning. So with the screen doors and 3 windows, unless it's crazy hot, we're not going to need the air conditioner. It's just going to run. And I think that's about it. So I hope this has been helpful for anyone who's been thinking about a Runaway Navigator. We barely felt it behind us, and it just does great. The price is great. We were really drawn to the company after reading the 2 brothers that own it, and we're just excited to be in the Runaway family. Don't you want to run away?